Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at 8142 Southwest Ashford Street here in Tigard, located at the front of the house. I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front door, or the front of the house in general. So the clean out here sits absolutely perfectly smack dab right in front of the bay window. I mean, they couldn't have laser pointed this thing even better. It's even right between the two foundation vents. It's like they planned it that way. Anyway, that's just to the right of the front door. We've got a 3-inch ABS clean out. We're going to check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Water's currently running. We're going to zero out here at the base of the clean out, and off we go. Anyway, that's just a nice little landmark there. Very rarely do you have a line that's lined up with things that nicely, in the event your clean out ever gets covered up by landscaping or something. Quite a clean sewer line right out of the gate too. Little tiny bit of grease built up in the flow line, but very clean relative to most homes. And the number one thing that gunks your pipes up and or keeps your line clean are your habits as it relates to cooking oil and fats in general going down your kitchen sink drain. Just transition there over to 4-inch 3034 PVC. Not putting cooking oil down the line does a great deal to help mitigate blockages from occurring. I've done almost 25,000 scopes at this point and done a lot of drain cleaning, and I found that grease buildup is a very common contributing factor to blockages occurring. Turns your line into a sticky mess and just causes everything to move slowly. All right, we're gonna stop here and let the line drain out. My camera, first I thought it was just some debris buildup. Well, there is some debris, but I think you may have more of a hard obstruction there. My camera's running into something it doesn't want to hop over terribly easy, so we're going to see what's happening here. It may be an offset joint or something of that nature. It's kind of what it feels like. About 53 feet out here. And we should be very near the main at this point, at this distance. In fact, this could be the connection onto the main here. You know, I cannot tell what the heck we've got going on here. So where I'm picking the locate up right now, like everything else, it seems the line seems to be centered based on everything. The line looks like it runs right down the middle of the driveway too. I'm sitting just out from the bottom of the driveway, maybe 2 feet into the street. Getting about 5 foot 3 inches deep there. You'll see a white X marking on the ground as a reference marking. That's more of a reference. I don't know exactly where sometimes you can have an issue that's 5 feet down line, but it's caused so much stuff to back up behind it that that's where you stop. So I don't know with certainty that right here is necessarily where the problem is at. So that's mostly a reference marking, just so you can see where we are currently. Also important, for instance, if the city were to take responsibility out here in the roadway or from the right-of-way out, this would appear to be fault, if the city takes responsibility, we would be in that territory. I'm just having a hard time seeing anything. I'm gonna let the line sit for just a moment. Try and let as much sediment settle as I can. Otherwise, this is one where you may want to start with some drain cleaning, a hydrojet, to see if you can blow anything out of here. Otherwise, it may be the line itself, a structural problem, some kind of offset joint or damaged pipe. What I'm running into there looks and feels a little bit jagged, like you could have busted pipe or something, and at the least some kind of offset. It's not helping. We've got this big hunk of junk here sitting right in front of the camera head. In fact, I may do a few toilet flushes to help bust that stuff loose, but you can get a little better. My camera's kind of upside down right now. You've got some kind of debris dam in the flow line. It's just hard to say what's exactly causing it. You could have a root going across the flow line. There could be damage to the flow line, offset joint, a lot of different possibilities here. But I would start with cleaning. Cleaning is going to probably at least remove this debris that's kind of obstructing our view right now as to exactly what's going on here. All right, so a bunch of toilet flushes there to help kind of remove as much as I can. Although whatever this whatever's going on here has got this hung up pretty good. I'm going to let the line drain off completely here for a moment. Then we'll try and take another look here in a second. Alrighty, so after 4 toilet flushes and all the other water I put down the line here, that's about as good as I can get this thing. To me right now, the fact that that stuff is not moving along on its way makes me think there's probably some kind of structural problem going on here. It would still be ideal to get something like a jetter down the line to blast all that junk free. In the event, it could be some kind of object that's stuck sideways in the pipe. I wouldn't be the first time I've seen it, but this is feeling more like a structural problem than just simply debris that can get blasted out of the way. So most likely, after the drain cleaning is done, you're probably going to have something there that may very well need correction. This just kind of helps you figure out exactly how it needs to be repaired and whatnot, and if it indeed does need repair. Some objects can get down line, get situated sideways and stuck in the pipe, and a drain cleaning machine can remove it. This does appear to be where the line is transitioning. As far as I can tell, it looks like we're going to transition over to a different pipe material right up ahead. Would appear to be a larger diameter, maybe 6-inch concrete or something of that nature, but it's kind of hard to say from this vantage point here. If it is indeed a transition joint, the reason I say that is these are the more likely spots to get things like root intrusions, offset joints, things of that nature. So as it sits right now, not a lot else I can do here other than reel back in. Recommend cleaning and a rescope to try and figure out what's going on. Obviously, all said and done, recommend repairs on it if there's some kind of structural problem, and a rescope after repairs are done to also check that work as well. All right, rest of the line there leading up to that point at about 53 feet out. Everything prior to it anyway is in good shape and has good flow.